Colorado, a mile closer to space.
Colorado, a mile closer to space.
Colorado, a mile closer to space.
We have a lot of opportunity here. There are a ton of startups that are making Denver, Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, and kind of the Front Range corridor their home.
We know, living in Colorado, that's a good place to have a spaceport because Spaceport Colorado is going to be America's hub for commercial space transportation research and development.
The other piece of Colorado's culture that I think is a significant competitive advantage globally is really the combination of innovation and entrepreneurship.
There's a couple of things that we need as a small company that Colorado gives us. And the two main things that I can think of are people and facilities. Colorado has a huge workforce of experienced, knowledgeable personnel that have worked in the industry for a long time. In aerospace, you have to have a specific capability to do assembly work, machine work, and to create products that can go into space. And being in Colorado gives us access to those kind of resources.
I'm seeing in the public a lot more interested in space than we've seen for quite some time, and I think it revolves around SpaceX and Sierra Nevada, the Dream Chaser, and all sorts of different things, much of which is going on here in Colorado.
Over the last 10 years, I think you've seen a pretty flat growth in terms of traditional aerospace for missile defense and Department of Defense kinds of projects. And what we've seen a significant growth in is more of the adjacent industries, commercialization of space.
Commercial and international industries are taking off and providing services to the government in new and interesting ways.
We're going to see elements of tourism. Space tourism is some of the first things at Spaceport Colorado, but also we're going to see space pilot training and remote pilot training. If we're going to stand up this brand new industry, this commercial space industry, there needs to be training. So it'll be training and education and research and development. That'll all be part of what takes place at Spaceport Colorado.
There's a lot of companies here in Colorado that are providing the infrastructure and the capabilities to commoditize the missions, commoditize the payloads. What that allows is new entrants to come in with new ideas, and that's really where innovation and the entrepreneurial spirit come into play.
There's the opportunity to do more missions that were traditionally large spacecraft around the Earth as well, that small spacecraft are starting to do.
I also think there's, the commercial space transportation industry is starting to bloom, and I think people are really interested in that, especially the younger generation, which really looks for more opportunities to have immediate impact.
We have a governor and a series of leaders across the local, regional, state, and federal partners that I think will align their resources better than any other state.
They got behind the idea of having a spaceport and the idea of limited liability shielding. When it went through the Senate and the House, out of committee and to the floor and so forth, there was not one single dissenting vote. And so that caught the attention of not only people in Colorado, but basically the whole nation. That Colorado was getting real serious about having a spaceport.
With Governor Hickenlooper's blueprint, which he created from the start of his administration, from that blueprint, the Office of Economic Development and International Trade spent enormous amount of hours working with various aerospace constituent groups in developing a strategic plan.
I was actually very fortunate to be able to support Senator Bennett in his bills for ITAR, the International Trafficking in Arms for Satellite Control Technology, and the Export Control Reform Acts that he pushed forward back in 2012. Those are actually now paying dividend in that it's making it more streamlined to be able to do exports, to be able to compete on the international markets.
As we've learned more about the global economy, I think we've recognized that Colorado really is a significant force all across the globe.
We're a mile closer to space. We've got a great environment to raise families in and to develop out, as you see here, world-class services for our customers.
I know that the future of aerospace in Colorado is very, very bright. We have some of the most talented people in the country, in the industry. We have some of the best companies. We've seen some amazing growth on some of the most cutting-edge technologies. I feel very optimistic about this industry and our ability to help support it.
The nice thing about Colorado is we can draw from CU Boulder, from Colorado School of Mines for new talent. We also have many well-established aerospace companies that have been here for decades and in fact have produced senior engineering staff and scientists that allow us to mentor a lot of the new workforce that we're developing.
There are also the customers that are out there that are available to these small startups all along the supply chain, from medium-sized companies who are interested in their products to the very large prime contractors who would be interested in their products as well.
The idea that we can create something here in our lab that would go into space and potentially interplanetary space is something that we've all wanted to do since we've graduated years ago. And the ability to be able to rapidly move from an idea to having it launched and in orbit is a great opportunity for us and really a dream come true for all the employees here.
We're human beings. It's our nature to explore. We're definitely going to push forward with exploration.